So many times in our life, you know you've heard it. You didn't do it right. You didn't do it right. Well, what was it that I didn't do right? You didn't do it the way that I do it, the way that I like to do it. You know you've heard this so many, many times. When you do something and you do it the way that you do it, and it's fine no matter what it is, but because you did not follow the exact oh my goodness, the exact path, the exact way that someone else thinks it should be done, then you didn't do it right. You're lazy. You're lazy. Good morning, Apple Brooks, honey. Good morning, everyone. I'm referring. I'm gonna refer to this. So I opened up the fireplace door. I noticed there wasn't any wood. The wood was gone by the time I went up. There was just hot coals, and I thought, I want to look at a flame. I want to look at a flame. So I just put on the gloves that you use if you're going to do a fire. I opened the door. I thought, I think I'm going to put this great big piece of wood in there, and I just lay it on there, and I close it. My husband looks at me. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I put a piece of wood in the stove." "Well, you didn't do it right." I said, "What do you mean I didn't do it right? I laid the wood in there and the flames are now going." "Well, you didn't move all the coals over to the other side of the stove where the vent was. You didn't do it right. You're lazy." "You did it the easy way." I said, "It was very easy for me to open up the door and put that put that piece of wood on the coals like that." I said, he goes, "Well, you're supposed to push them all the way to the side of the stove where the vent is, where the flame, where the coals can die down." Actually, he said, "You did it the hard way." That's what he said. And I said, "No, it was very easy. All I did was open up the door and stick the wood in it." I said, "This would make for a good video. People insisting on you doing things the way that they do it. No, no. What people don't realize is we all have our own way of doing things. We do." We have our own way of doing things. Just because you don't do something the way someone else does it doesn't mean it's the wrong way. It just means that somebody else has a way of doing it and they like the way they're doing it. Okay, that. Oh my goodness, you all. So yeah, you've heard this your whole life. You probably, in some time or another, you might hear it every single day. This is how you're supposed to do it. This is how you're supposed to do it. Now, normally I don't hear something like that from him, but this morning I heard it. It's so funny. It is funny, but it's not funny. But you got to be able to laugh at it. I just looked at him. I said, "It's fine to me." The coals need to die down because it's going to get really warm. It's already 80 degrees, but I like looking at the flame in the stove in the morning. Oh, somebody's already started their trolling with our Apple Brooks honey. That's right. Good morning. Good morning, Patty. Yeah, you all. So just because someone doesn't do something the way that you personally do things doesn't mean that they're doing it the wrong way. With that type of mindset that is solidified within an individual, well, you didn't do it the right way. Even in when we took some kind of taekwondo or something in Hawaii, when we was doing how you have to learn the movements and stuff. I remember learning the movement, but because I did not do it precisely the way the instructor had laid out, then it was wrong according to him, even though I was able to do the moves. I was able to do all the moves, but because I did not do it the way that he specified, he didn't like it because it was not the hive mind mentality. It was not the hive mind mentality. And he had no qualm about bringing it out, all in the open around all the people, that that's not the way to do it. You are to do it my way. This is his way. Because of the way I practice, I even showed him how I did it. He wouldn't do him, but I could do the moves. I could do the moves. But he had to have it his way. Now, I understand in martial arts, they want you to do it exactly, all the exercises exactly the way they tell you to do it. But I didn't do it. I didn't like that guy too much afterward. And I didn't take any more of his classes. I mean, I finished that class out. But there are people in this life that want you to do things the way they want you to do them. You can't deviate. You cannot deviate. You can't deviate this way. You can't deviate that way. You got to do it precisely. Precisely. Well, I got a problem with that. I do got a problem with that. That's not me. That may not be you either. That may not be you, and it's okay if it's not you. If you do not fit into the mold that they tried to put you in, that's okay. You just like go outside that mold, okay? You can break the sides of the mold. Say, you know what? I don't like this shape. I think I'm going to make another shape. That mold don't fit me. And none of the molds you're going to give me going to fit me. That's how you got to do it. So you've heard this all your life, probably. Throughout your life, off and on, from different types of people. Yeah. Only for safety reasons. That's another thing right there. If there's safety involved, absolutely do it. But no, the strange ways that people think. Really. Now, I'm like that too. See, I can't be no hypocrite. I can't say that you can't do it that way when I myself do it that way. I'm not going to be hypocritical like that. I'm not. There are some instances when there's something that I want done, and I know it's better off if I do it myself. Because it's going to get done the right way. It's going to get done the right way. I'm not going to take no shortcuts. I'm not. I'm going to go step by step, especially if I'm working on a car. If you've ever repaired a car and you've got to go through certain steps just to get like the alternator off, to get the manifold off and stuff like that, you got to use the right wrenches. You got to use the right sockets. You got to come in at the right angle when you're doing that. When you got a bolt that won't come off and you put a socket on it, or even drilling, any of that. No, you got to be right in front of it. You can't be on the side twisting your socket wrench. You're going to round off the edges of your bolt on the nut head. You're gonna round it off. Then you're going to have yourself a bigger problem. Then you're going to have to get out the vices, those little vice grips. You're going to have a big, big problem. Then if you strip it really bad, then you're going to have to go you're going to make it even more complicated. It all depends on what you're doing. But I didn't see any harm opening the door of the stove, taking a piece of wood, sticking it on the bed of hot coals, because I wanted them to die down. No, I'm not going to stick my hand in there with the glove or the rake and push them all to the side of the stove. I'm not going to do it. I might have done it a few times, but no, this morning, just a little bed of coals. I'm just going to lay the wood on it, let the coals get the whole entire piece of the wood so I can watch the flames. So I didn't do it his way. It's like that song, I did it my way. And I did do it my way. And it was quite easy. It was so easy. It wasn't the hard way. The hard way is when I watch him every morning. He gets up, he opens up the door, he puts on the gloves. You can't stick your hands in the fire. Sticks on those gloves, scoots them over with his hands. Then he gets the shovel and scoots them over even more. And it takes him quite a while to do it. And I said, you keep your hand in there long enough, it's going to burn through the gloves, and I'm going to have to give you more gloves. That's not what the gloves are made for, to just keep them there, to scoot your coals continually. That's how he does it. And I sat there, I just let him do it. I let him do it. I don't open my mouth. I don't. Oh my gosh, you up. Yeah, you can let You can let people do things just because they don't do it your way. That's okay. On certain simple things like that, they can do it their way. It's neat looking what they do. It is. But to get bent out of shape. Now, he didn't get bent out of shape, but some people will totally get bent out of shape if you don't do something the way they want you to do it, or if you don't do what they want you to do when they want you to do it. They can get really bent out of shape. And if you are an individual who gets really, really upset when you want something done and you want it done now and you want it done a specific way, that's kind of demanding. Love does not demand. Love does not demand its own way. It does not demand its own way. It does not. Okay. Love's not demanding. It's not. It's not demanding. Now, if you can look at life through the eyes of love and realize it's not demanding its own way, you'll be happy. But it might rub you the wrong way if you're a person who demands their own way. It's like this job I had. I was doing this job, and they had this quality assurance, this quality inspector. And I remember the lady. She was a towering lady. She was slammed her notebook down on that table. I am a perfectionist, and I demand perfection. She yelled it out loud with all these young people standing around. And I'm probably 20 feet in front of her, and I looked at her. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, really? Oh, really? I, I, I was a little passive aggressive. I slowly walked up to her. I looked her right in the eye. I said, excuse me? She goes, I want to know where this right here is. And she had already made this young girl cry. When I say young, she's probably around 20 and so. And I said, do you know what? These people are new. They've never done this job before. And you are yelling at them. You've already hurt their feelings and you've made them cry. I want to know where this is right here. I take the item that she gives me. I look at it. I go, I don't know. I'll go check. So I take the item back to where I came from. She's sitting there. She's still demanding her perfection. She looks at me, and she's looking at me, and I'm looking at the clock, and it's like 2 minutes till lunchtime. And I wasn't even supposed to be doing any work 5 minutes to lunchtime. And then I turn all of my equipment off. And I turn all the equipment off, and she's just sitting there. And then she gets up and she walks up to where I'm at. She goes, what are you doing? I said, it's lunchtime, and we are not allowed to work on lunchtime. It's against the regulations. And I walk away from her. And you ought to seen the look on her face. She goes, who is Gina? She is nothing. She's nothing, because I was new. And this lady had been there for years. She was a QA woman. And she demanded perfection. And then she said it around all those young people. Well, those young people happened to like me. And they didn't like being treated that way by the person who demanded the perfection. And before you know it, statements were written. statements were written because she was obviously saying a whole lot of bad stuff down there around those young people and about me. Then it went to the upper management where I was at. Then it went to the upper management where she came from. Then it went even higher than that. And then the next thing you knew, all the upper management was in there. They were in that area. And she knew why they were there. And within 2 weeks, she retired from her job because she was out of place. She demanded perfection. She wanted it done her way. She had done this lady had done this to all the other people in the area. And she had been getting away with it for years and years and years. I even watched her that day and throughout the week when she went to other people's workstations and spoke to them that way. I watched her do it and I thought, that is wrong. But I never lashed out at her. I didn't. But I didn't put up with it. I didn't. Yeah. So this has happened. When you do things and someone says, well, you're not doing it the way that I do it. You're not doing it the way that you need to be doing it. You're not doing it the right way. Who said it's not the right way? If the job is getting done, who said it's not the right way? I did it my way. I did it my way. And I added no trouble to it when I opened up that door and I stuck that piece of firewood in there. And I'm in there. What are you doing? And he saw the flames going from that piece of wood in the fireplace. I stuck a piece of wood in there. You didn't scoot the coals to the side of the stove like I do it. That's the way you're supposed to do it. No, I didn't. Well, you did it the hard way. I said, it was quite easy. Now I can sit down and look at the flame. I said, as a matter of fact, I got a YouTube video that I can do on this, insisting things be done your own way, because if it's not somebody else's way, then it's obviously the wrong way. And if you don't do, well, really, that is, love does not demand its own way. And love behaves lovingly. Love is kind and compassionate. It's caring. It's easygoing. It keeps no record of wrongs. You're not going to find no anger in it. You're not going to find screaming and a hollering and fit throwing. When love is in charge of you, you're not going to find it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not ever going to get upset, but it will be a maintained upset. It ain't going to be your whole course of your life flying off the handle, having fits of rage and temper tantrums and stuff like that. I demand perfection and slamming your notebook down on the table so loud and screaming it out. Could you imagine if during that instance that I would have walked, when she screamed, that I would have screamed right back at her and walked down there and get in her face and scream at her? Could you imagine the acceleration of the anger, of the stress, of the frequency in that building? If I would have done that, if I would have responded to her the way that she responded to the girls and the boys down there, they're young 20-year-olds, and me, oh, I would have been throwing fuel and I would have had a big fire going, big old fire. But no, I did it the right way. She probably would have wanted me to yell at her. She probably would have, but I didn't give her that pleasure because that's not me. That has never been me. It's never been me. That's just me. Now, you may have a different way of doing things. Sometimes you do get around people and you have to get back in their face. And it's if you're a person who's not used to doing it, you don't like it, But sometimes you will do it, and those times will be very few and far between. Yeah. Demanding your own way. I'm a perfectionist and I demand perfection. Okay. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm going to leave some wiggle room. If you want to do something that doesn't really require you to do something a specific way, like for safety reasons, or even like working on a car, you're using the wrong type of tools. You're not putting the jack stands underneath the car, regardless if you're changing the tire. You got your jack that goes like that, the floor hoist. You better put some jack stands under it too. Don't you dare be crawling underneath the car. That's very, very dangerous. See, yeah. No, I'm not going to crawl under a car if you just got a little floor jack and you ain't got no jack stands on it and you ain't got the wheels secured. You ain't got the car in park. You ain't got the emergency brake on. No, I'm not going to crawl under that car and do things. No, I'm not. And I'm going to make sure I got the right tool. And I'm going to make sure I have some glasses on, depending on exactly what I'm doing. If safety glasses or something like that, you all know. Now, that's the right thing to do like that. But love does not demand its own way. It doesn't, you all. We've heard that. We can let people be them. We can let them do it their own way. We can, especially if the job gets done. It may even be done a more efficient way. Isn't that what AI does? Artificial intelligence is literally streamlining the workforce, streamlining it. It's a lot more efficient. And look at the big farming equipment. It does a lot more than what the humans could do and a lot faster. We can't stop evolution. You cannot stop evolution. You cannot, no, it's part of life. It's part of life. It is. And people think differently. Just because I don't think the way that you think. You know what? It reminds me of a dream I had last night. Someone showed up in my dream and they told me I need to get on and do a live stream on this particular subject right here. Not this subject, but the subject they were talking about. You need to do a live stream. This is what you need to be speaking about during your live streams. No, I thought, I'm not going to speak about that. I don't even talk on subjects like that. I'm not going to speak about that because that's not what I'm about. That's what you're about. I saw that in my dream just for a brief moment. No, that's not me. Just because I don't speak on things that other people speak on doesn't mean that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do in life. Okay? It doesn't. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do on my path in life right now. I am. Do I go all over the place at times? Yeah, but I just follow my spirit. No, I don't want to be stuck in a mode. I'm a free spirit. That's how you have to look at it. I'm a free spirit, and a lot of people are not free spirits. Some people are confined within their spirit where they can't branch out. For some reason, they just can't. Just go with it. Just go with it, baby. Just roll with it, baby, whatever that song is. No, I'm a free spirit. And if you're watching this, you're probably a free spirit also. You don't want to be told what to do, especially what you're doing is fine. It works for you. Now, there's nothing wrong with learning a better way, but if it's going to be more complicated and burn your hands through the gloves, don't do it. You got coals popping up, hot sparks pop out of the stove when you move those coals around. To me, that's a safety hazard right there. Yeah, that is. What this channel is about, it's Ricky, honey, it's about love, Love. Get you some love in your heart today. It's sharing from a position of love. It's about the eclipse that is coming, the total solar eclipse that is coming. And it doesn't want to focus that well. It's about X marks the spot. It's about the lunar eclipse. It's about lightning strikes. It's about America. It's about the New Madrid. It's about plasma from volcanoes, plasma popping up all over the place from the volcano in Iceland. It's about NASA. It's about all kinds of things. It's about UFOs in the sky, whether you believe in UFOs or not. It's about things around, it's about NASA products too, things around that. It's about all kinds of things. You're just going to have to hang around. You're going to have to look through the videos and you'll see the many different subjects that are covered on this YouTube channel. The many different subjects. It's very diverse, but it is not controversial in a sense that makes people really, really mad. Well, I can't say that because some people really do get mad at me because of who I am and the way that I share, and because I don't share what they feel I need to share. That's too bad because that's not me. Yeah, that's what it's about. Yes. Yeah. And it's not about politics. Yeah. We don't do politics on here. Even though politics shape our world, we don't. We have enough going on in our world and enough in our lives to talk about, and it's about relationships too. It is. It's about learning how to treat others with respect and love. That's what it's about. And when you share, you do it in love. And you don't scream and you don't holler. It's about trying to make yourself better, trying to make the world a better place, trying to keep the frequency up. It's about dancing. Dancing to raise the frequency. Go check out our dancing videos. It's all over the place. Is it about murder and killing and child whatever and all this sex trafficking and corruption and all this? No. No, you're not going to find any of that on this channel. You are not. That's what it's not about. It'd probably be easier to say, no, I'm not, I don't even like mentioning that stuff. It's not about stuff like that. It's not. Well, then you're not sharing the truth. I'm sharing my truth and a lot of other people's truth. And that truth comes through love. Yeah. We're living our life. Do you got a problem with it? Do you got a problem with living your life in peace and tuning out as much negative as you can while being aware of the negative? Yeah. Try to tune out the negative as much as possible and share things that are of interest that other people probably aren't going to share. And it's okay. It's okay to have a place to go to where you don't hear all the kind of the negativeness that's going on in the world. It is. I love it. I do love it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And I wouldn't have people even being interested. That's right. Love is awesome, Rodney, honey. It is awesome. It is. And if it's on the inside of you, right there, you'll know it. You got all you need. And it bridges the gap. It crosses over the barriers. It connects us all. It's the glue that holds us all together. It's the bond. It's the spiritual bond that holds us all together. And we like to encourage one another on this YouTube channel also. Encouragement is a big part of life. Without encouragement, I doubt any of us would be able to aspire to become a better person and work on ourselves without encouragement. So I am going to go. See, that was a perfect question to bring us into that. All right. So I'm going to go, you all. And with that being said, yeah. Hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. I even got a little heart right there. From my heart to yours. And thank you for being on this YouTube channel. Please give this video a thumbs up. And thank you if you have subscribed. Thank you if you haven't, consider subscribing. And thank you to those who have joined. And thank you, moderators. Yeah, we got it. We got the love. And we're not boring. We're wild. If you don't want some wildness, if you don't want to get loose, you don't come to this channel. Don't come to it. Yeah, don't come to it if you don't want to have no fun. That's right. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Thank you. Love you.